Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. Shockaholic is a compact, sharp-edged memoir by Carrie Fisher that blends show business history, mental health candor, and her trademark humor into a fast-moving personal account. Built around her experiences with electroconvulsive therapy, the book uses that medical framework as a jumping-off point for recollections that stretch from Hollywood childhood to adult life under celebrity pressure. Fisher does not present a neatly polished, inspirational arc. Instead, she offers a self-aware narrative voice that is conversational, incisive, and unafraid to expose awkward truths. Readers encounter the way fame can distort relationships, how family legacy can become both shield and burden, and how illness can coexist with brilliance and productivity. With an episodic structure and a comedic sensibility that never fully leaves even the hardest passages, Shockaholic functions as both a celebrity memoir and a reflective essay on survival. It is brief, but it lands with the emotional weight of lived experience and the craft of a seasoned storyteller. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, electroconvulsive therapy as a narrative frame. One of the most distinctive choices in Shockaholic is the way Fisher uses electroconvulsive therapy, often abbreviated as ECT, as the organizing spine of the memoir. Rather than delivering a clinical explainer or a simple before and after testimony, she treats the treatment schedule as a structure that naturally triggers memory, association, and reflection. The result is an intimate view of how mental health care can be woven into everyday life, including the practical realities of appointments, stigma, and the strange normality that can develop around repeated procedures. Fisher also emphasizes the tension between public perceptions of ECT and the nuanced reasons someone might pursue it after other interventions have not fully worked. By anchoring the book in this medical context, she invites readers to consider how treatment decisions are shaped by personal history, risk tolerance, and the desire to keep functioning creatively and socially. The memoir does not ask readers to see ECT as a dramatic plot device. It is presented as a real tool used in real circumstances, and Fisher uses her wit to reduce fear while still respecting the seriousness of mental illness and its management. Secondly, fame, identity, and the costs of being seen, Shockaholic explores the peculiar psychological pressure of being publicly recognizable while privately vulnerable. Fisher was not only famous for her own work, but also connected to Hollywood royalty through her family, which multiplies scrutiny and expectations. The book shows how celebrity can complicate basic needs such as privacy, rest, and uncomplicated relationships. Even small moments can be filtered through the awareness that people are watching, judging, or projecting narratives onto you. Fisher examines how this constant visibility can distort identity, making it harder to separate the self from the roles others assign. She also highlights how fame can mask pain. A witty public persona can be rewarded even when it is functioning as armor, and the surrounding industry can normalize extremes as long as performance continues. The memoir portrays celebrity as neither pure privilege nor pure curse. It is a context that amplifies everything, including mistakes, family conflict, and mental health symptoms. Fisher's approach is valuable because she refuses to romanticize access and glamour. She focuses on the emotional logistics of living in public, showing how coping strategies, relationships, and self-concept can be shaped by a life where personal experience is frequently treated as shared property. Thirdly, family legacy, Hollywood lineage, and emotional inheritance. A central undercurrent in Shockaholic is the way family history can operate like an invisible script. Fisher writes from within a famous lineage, and the memoir illustrates how inherited narratives can be both empowering and heavy. There is the practical dimension of growing up around performers and insiders, but also the emotional dimension of learning how love, conflict, and attention function in a family accustomed to public image. The book suggests that legacy is not only about career opportunities, it is also about patterns, coping mechanisms, and the expectations that shape what a person thinks is normal. Fisher's storytelling highlights the complicated mix of admiration, frustration, loyalty, and grief that can arise in high-profile families. She depicts how family relationships can remain intimate and messy even when surrounded by publicity. This theme matters because it shows how personal struggles are rarely isolated. They are entangled with upbringing, family dynamics, and social context. Fisher's comedic tone does not dilute the seriousness of these inheritances. Instead, it becomes a way to speak about them without turning the memoir into a lecture. Readers come away with a clearer sense of how family legacy can influence mental health, self-worth, and the lifelong work of separating who you are from who you were expected to be. Fourthly, humor as a survival skill, not a distraction. Fisher's voice is famously funny, and Shockaholic demonstrates how humor can function as an adaptive skill rather than a superficial performance. The memoir uses comedy to manage discomfort, to puncture pretension, and to create breathing room around painful subjects. This is not humor that denies reality. It is humor that coexists with fear, sadness, and exhaustion, allowing the narrator to stay engaged with life instead of collapsing under it. The book also shows how a comedic perspective can sharpen observation. Fisher uses wit to reveal contradictions in celebrity culture, the absurdities of social interactions, and the self-deceptions people rely on to keep moving. Importantly, the humor does not guarantee safety. It can also be a mask, and the memoir hints at the double edge of being rewarded for entertaining others while struggling internally. This tension makes the book resonate beyond the celebrity angle. Many readers recognize the impulse to turn pain into a punchline, especially in environments where vulnerability feels risky. By presenting humor as both tool and trap, Fisher offers a realistic portrayal of coping that avoids simplistic lessons and instead reflects the complicated ways people protect themselves and communicate their experiences. Lastly, living with mental illness. While staying creative and functional, Shockaholic is ultimately concerned with continuity, how to keep living, working, and relating to others while managing a serious mental health condition. Fisher does not frame recovery as a straight line or a single breakthrough. The memoir reflects a more realistic model in which stability is constructed through routines, treatment, self-knowledge, and the willingness to ask for help. Readers see how mental illness intersects with career demands, public appearances, friendships, and the internal pressure to be capable. Fisher's perspective is especially relevant for creative people because it addresses the fear that treatment might dull personality or productivity. She suggests that being functional is not the same as being unfeeling and that seeking relief is not a betrayal of talent. The book also underscores the importance of naming experiences honestly, even when labels are uncomfortable. By putting a recognizable life story alongside the messy reality of symptoms and care, Fisher reduces isolation for readers who have felt that their struggles must be hidden. The memoir's power comes from its refusal to offer a tidy formula. Instead, it models persistence, self-awareness, and the idea that a meaningful life can be built alongside ongoing management. In conclusion, Shockaholic is best suited for readers who appreciate memoirs that are candid, fast-paced, and emotionally intelligent, including fans of Carrie Fisher, readers interested in mental health narratives, and anyone curious about the less glamorous realities behind celebrity mythology. It can benefit a reader's life by normalizing the complexity of treatment decisions and showing that coping is often a series of practical choices rather than a single heroic transformation. Fisher's willingness to discuss illness, stigma, and self-protective behaviors can help readers feel less alone and more willing to pursue care, set boundaries, or reframe shame as a shared human experience. Compared with many celebrity memoirs that focus on career highlights or scandal, this book stands out for its distinctive structure and purpose. It uses fame as context, not as the main prize, and it treats mental health as a lived reality rather than a branding opportunity. Its blend of humor and honesty creates a tone that is accessible without being shallow. The writing is concise, memorable, and personal in a way that rewards rereading. For buyers comparing similar memoirs, Shockaholic offers a singular voice, a focused theme, and an uncommon mix of vulnerability and craft. If you would like to support Carrie Fisher, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.